Good morning again, YouTube. Back at it. 2 days left in my week-long stretch. It's 84 hours this week. This fucking guy is tired, so I'm just getting up again. I'll try and do this a little bit more often. I actually enjoyed it yesterday quite a bit. I'm not gonna fully delve into like my meal prep and everything, getting ready for work. Fucking eyelashes falling out my eye. But yeah, I just figured I'd kind of chat with you guys while I'm getting ready for the day again, and share some of my thoughts. I think I kind of want to make a series. I know I'm a long way from reaching this goal, that's why it's a goal. But I genuinely really want to eventually transition into open bodybuilding. Down the road, I need to actually do better in classic first, but that is my goal, and that is what keeps me driven. So I've been like structuring my training plan, everything, diet, everything like that. Not really structuring my diet, I guess, but my end goal is, like, I've been calling this my road to open, because I want to try and put on as much size as possible, get as big as I can, make the most progress I can, trying to optimize everything, and eventually progress to the point where I can move into the open bodybuilding. Years and years down the road before I can like even be able to hold my own, but at least for now it gives me a really good goal, something to keep focused on, something to work towards. So I might call this my road to open series, or I just keep going with the off-season stuff, I'm not sure, but that's kind of like where my mentality is at. I've changed a lot of things so far in this off season. Sleeping as much as I can. Obviously I'm tired as fuck right now, but that's night shifts. There's only, anybody that's worked shift work knows there's only so much you can do with night shifts. So I'm doing my best over here. But yeah, so I'm really like, I even cut down my caffeine intakes like substantially, a ton more water, more supplements, being more health conscious, all that stuff. So it's kind of at the point now where it's like, I feel like I've done this long enough. I'm pretty solidified in what my goals are, that I know what I want, and I know how to get there. And I'm willing to kind of do whatever it takes to reach those goals. So whether it be off season, and I keep going with that, or we do like a road to open thing, because I don't know how soon I'll do the transition. Obviously, it just depends on my body, how much I can grow, how much progress I can make. Like I'm not going back on stage again, because I know like my judges' feedback this year was legs, glutes, and better conditioning, which I knew. I literally told the judge, I was like, these three, and he's like, that's exactly what I was gonna say. So I know what I lacked in this year. I put a lot of work into my legs to bring them up, and they have come up, but just not enough, because typical fucking gym dude in the beginning, right? You're like, oh, I don't want to train legs. Now I love them. Now I love training them. They suck so good. They're literally like my favorite to train. So I need to continue pushing the way that I have been, to continue making the progress that I have been, and eventually we'll see some more progress, and then we won't have to worry about it. But I've added in 2 leg days in my routine now. One's a glute and hammy focused, and then the other one is quads and hammies, because my hammies need to come up too. So I figured I'd hit them twice. My glutes need to come up, so I'll hit them as well. And then, we'll keep pushing. But I've actually been recovering pretty good, which I'm like super impressed with. Because before, I found like, whether it was just laziness and an excuse, but I could only hit legs once a week. I'm pushing pretty fucking hard, and I seem to be recovering. I think it's because I'm taking my recovery more seriously. I'm fueling my body better. Like, it's got the nutrients it needs to actually recover, instead of just like, we're gonna hammer volume and then we're gonna eat shit food and we're gonna wonder why we feel like garbage all the time, and we're getting fat in our off season. So huge progress just as an athlete in total, which I'm super stoked about. So excited for the future. I want to take you guys with me. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm just gonna whip through, make my cream rices, pre-workout meal, intra-workout, pack my bag, get through this shit as fast as possible. And it is Justin tries today, so I'm super excited. And it's Canada Day today, so there's a good chance the gym's dead. Maybe I'll mic up, walk you through. I'm gonna keep trying until I actually get a session in that I can actually mic up for it. So until then, maybe I'll do the voiceover. I did a little bit of one yesterday's video, but I kind of want to either do more of those or actually mic up in the gym and chat a little bit, give it a little bit more substance instead of just throwing some weight around. But I will see you guys probably when I'm going to eat my pre-workout meal. All right, got all of our cream rice done, pre and intra-workout, lunch is packed. We're a fucking well-oiled machine today. It is only 10 after 4. I was up a little bit earlier. I have not been sleeping on these night shifts. I don't know what it is, if it's the heat keeping me up or fucking what it is. It's been hot at work, lots of humidity, lots of hard work. So I don't know, that's gonna fuck with me a little bit. But I got like 6 hours of sleep, which is actually pretty good for me for a normal night. For some reason, I have a hell of a time getting to bed, so I'm just mixing up my bloat bowl, my beautiful bloat bowl right now, the highlight of my day. And yeah, just gearing up for chest and triceps. Pretty excited for that, obviously. Who isn't excited for chest day? But yeah, I just wanted to kind of chat with you guys a little bit, let you know my goals. I talked about it a little bit at the start of this video here, but like, honestly, the last few years, as I've been in competition preps and done these, this year's been my 3rd competition, and like it was just an incredible experience. First year, definitely wasn't ready, no coach, you know, freshly divorced, lots of mental problems going on, didn't really understand the sport that much, like loved the gym, loved bodybuilding, didn't really know what I was doing, didn't have the proper guidance, so wasn't a good showing, but I'm still proud of myself for going like and doing it. And it gave me something like in that negative mindset because of all the like factors affecting my mental health at the time. It was so good to have like just a goal to work towards. It did wonders, probably saved my life, honestly. I spent probably way too much time in the gym, and it was more of a therapy than anything. So at the end of the day, still happy, still like, and it started this, so still very glad that I went. And then last year, way better showing, way better package to stage, not nearly conditioned enough, still didn't understand the full extent. I had a coach at least, but some bad calls were made, and he said it was hard to judge the physique over the phone, which was kind of tough just because of the fact that I wish I would have known that before I was like at the show on show day. And then we ended up, so I spilled, well, I was also overweight, so like as well, but never cut water, ballooned like a motherfucker, and was not happy. Definitely the leanest I'd been at that point, so that was still a big win, but definitely could have been a better showing as well. But I mean, ultimately, whatever. It was still such a good experience. And then this is just my local show, so this being the 3rd year this year, I've seen a lot of the same guys, met some fucking incredible people. Like, this industry, it's so small, especially here, and some of these people are so awesome. Like, I have made some really cool friends, acquaintances, whatever. People that I want to get together with, get some workouts in with. There's more people in the industry that understand, and in the sport that understand, like, why are you eating your meals? Why are you bringing them with you everywhere? Why are you training like that? Why do you get up early so you can get your shit done in time? Like, why don't you just sleep in? Why don't you just skip a meal, have a donut? You know, like, it's these people that are there, they know because they're living it as well. There's no explaining. It's just like, oh yeah, me too, man, which is cool. So it's kind of nice to be around these like-minded people and not have to explain yourself. or like justify your actions, because I feel like a lot of the general population, they're just like, why? It's like, fucking because this is my dream, this is my passion, this is what I need to do in order to reach my goals. So very refreshing. The showing was a lot better this year. I got first in my novice class, second in my overall, and honestly, like, debatable if it should have been a first, but I really don't fucking care. Like, I thought I brought a very good package. You know, the other guy that won the class or whatever, he brought a good package. There were some things that he had me beat on, and there's some things that I had him beat on. And ultimately, it just depends on the judges. But, like, at the end of the day, fuck. Like, to not get last, which my first 2 years was, like, huge. Like, and how much I've grown as an athlete, a competitor, and, like, as a person, as a man, from first, second, now third year. Wild. Like, it was fun. Like, when I fucking stepped out on stage, it was just like, the lights hit me the first 2 years, and I'm just like, deer in the headlights, frozen. This year, it was just like, no, I fucking belong here. Like, I suffered for this prep. I lost 54 pounds, my own fault, and my coach's fault for letting me get too big this offseason, but it's okay. It was like, I had never been that lean. I'd also never dug that deep before. So that was a big reality check. I never looked that good in my life. It was fucking awesome. Like, I love it. And you know what, I'm like, as much as it sucks to leave that behind, where I am now is I know that I need this to grow and be better. So it's a trade-off for me. I'm like, I'm not really bothered by it. Not that I plan on getting fat, but the extra fluff for not being shredded or whatever, I'm just like, it's short-term sacrifice, long-term gain. So it'll be just a means to an end. It'll pay off. I'm excited. But yeah, this showing is way better. Proud of myself. It was my first year in Classic. The first 2 years were men's physique. And like, I wonder if that's kind of why I felt so at home. It was just because of the fact, like, I just knew mentally, like, this is where I belong. This is these kind of classes, like Classic, physique, and bodybuilding. Like, that's where my heart is. That's where my passion is. No disrespect to the men's physique guys, because they put in a ton of work as well. Like, the conditioning you have to have is crazy, and the proportions and stuff, but I'm more built for Classic or bodybuilding, like a little bit more square, not as much like the really tapered waist. So I know where I stand, but yeah, all in all, it's been, this fucking sport just never ceases to amaze me in what it can offer me for substance in my life. And yeah, I'm like super fucking stoked for the future. Can't wait to see what happens. Excited to see what I can do this off season, and then what I can bring to stage next year whenever I compete again. We'll see how much we can put on and how much progress we can make, and we'll decide from there. But I don't want to keep chasing my tail, so if I can't improve enough to justify a prep, then I don't really want to cut my improvement season short. So we'll see what happens, but that's my spiel. I'm gonna get my meal in, crush my pre-workout, and finish getting changed for the gym, and go hit some titties. All right, guys, we're all fitted up, ready to go. This is I don't know why I'm not embarrassed to go out in public like this, but we're fit. Got my pile of shit ready to go, gym bag, work lunch kit, pre-workout, water, and we're set. So I'll see you guys there.
All right, guys, so it turns out the gym was a little bit busier than I thought, so I did not mic up for this session. But I figured I'd just do a little voiceover, talk over what's going on, kind of explain shit to you guys. Not that, if you're watching this, you probably worked out before, probably kind of know what's happening, but I'm just starting out with some incline bench press. I really like this machine. They finally got an actual incline press. Focusing really on getting a good stretch at the bottom all the way down and kind of holding it for a second. I found that really lit my chest up nice. I like the tension, and then trying to be a little bit more controlled coming down, going back up. It was a little bit heavier than I thought. The work week kind of kicked the shit out of me, so it wasn't really as controlled as I was hoping for, but nonetheless, it's still got a really good pump, good squeeze at the top. I'm really taking a couple seconds to squeeze everything out. Next up, we're going into some overhead single arm tricep extensions on the cable machine. I really like this one. It seems to really give me a good stretch in the tricep and really nice and controlled. I have this weird habit of bracing my core like this. For some reason, it makes me feel more stable, but genuinely, I actually really like it. Really making sure I come all the way down until I can't hinge anymore in my elbow, and then coming for a full stretch. Kind of pushing, really squeezing the tricep at the top of the movement, getting the most blood flow, the best contraction that I can out of it. It seems to really light my tris up, and especially with a good stretch, full range of motion, and probably one of my all-time favorite tricep exercises. The only downside I seem to find to any unilateral work is just that it feels like I need to do twice as much volume because I got to do the same exercise twice, obviously switching arms. Depending how I'm doing time-wise, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but at the same time, like most people, my non-dominant arm being my right arm is kind of lagging a little bit. So in this sense, it's really good for this exercise just to really light them up equally, get the same stretch, contraction out of both sides. Really allows me to try and bring them up. I've been trying to do a little bit extra volume on my lagging side and hope that I can actually balance my physique a little bit better, especially being a classic competitor now. They're obviously really looking for symmetry, and that's something that I really need to work on. So this is, again, such a staple for me. Definitely one of my favorite exercises. Next up, we're moving into the converging chest press. This machine is incredible. This is definitely one of my favorite machines. I seem to get such good contraction. You can really squeeze your chest together with the way it converges at the top of the movement. And you can kind of come, the way I sit anyways, I seem to get a really full stretch in my chest and then get that full range of motion, which I'm always trying to work towards. But just the way that you can really squeeze and hold it for a good squeeze at the top of the movement is by far makes it one of my favorite chest machines. This thing is a staple, and I've found very few machines that I've used so far in my limited gym equipment experience that kind of come close to this one. It's another one of my favorites, and I'm very thankful that my gym being small actually has something like this. Next, we're moving into a single arm tricep push down. This one has been another one of my staples, another unilateral movement. Just helps me really, I find I can load the weight up a little bit more. Really focus on a good contraction, especially with the D handles and being on the cable. I can kind of push out, get a really good contraction in there. Nice and slow, taking everything easy. I don't want to be jerking the weight around. And I've really been focusing on lowering the weight a little bit and then just trying to make it feel heavy. And I find that that's got a way better connection, more slow, more controlled, time under tension, and just really getting the blood pumped into it. Good squeeze at the top and focusing. You can just kind of tell that I hold it for a second or two there. And that's been like one of the keys for me to kind of develop them. My triceps have come up a long ways, and I'm hoping to continue progressing with them. All right, moving into a decline cable chest fly. I really like these. I started moving the cables down a little bit lower than all the way up at the top. I just find it gives me a little bit better stretch, a little bit less on my shoulders and more just chest, and then a full stretch of the chest. I've really been liking this, slow and controlled, and then a huge squeeze at the bottom, trying to really straighten my elbows out, almost lock them out, squeeze my chest together, really get the most out of the contraction, hold it for a couple seconds, pump the fuck out of the blood in my chest. It's been just a game changer as far as trying to develop a little bit more like a middle lower chest. Good stretch, good range of motion, wicked contraction, especially being controlled like that. You know, I find that slowing my tempo down really has made such a substantial difference in my training, and just really treating the weight like it's heavier, even if it really isn't the full stack. I'm excited to kind of really keep applying that to my whole training regimen here. It's been a game changer so far, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, really grinding for every last rep here, slow and controlled, trying to keep my form strict right up until the end. Last but not least, I've been throwing in some rear delts pretty regularly, try and bring them up. Unfortunately, one of the mistakes that a lot of new lifters fall for, and is something that I definitely fell for, was the fact that I didn't know that the rear delts existed for the first couple of years of training. So now I'm trying to play catch up, and I realize what a vital part of that 3D delt look that I'm looking for is. So, I've been trying to hit them at least 2 or 3 extra times a week outside of my shoulder day, give them the extra lovin's. I kind of like this one a little bit, just enough to pump some blood in and give them the stimulation that they need. So yeah, I'm just kind of running through some posing here, really just trying to stay on top of it, make sure that I'm hitting my poses, getting more comfortable, more fluid, playing around with a little bit of different posing here and there. Footwork, like this one right here, I changed up a little bit of a tilt, more of a T stance, and you know, just trying to play around with it a little bit more, get comfortable, get more familiar with it, just make sure that I don't get rusty in my off season. I think that's something that's super important and something that I really plan on staying on top of the entire off season. So hoping that it continues to pay off, and then when I step on stage next time, I am confident and you know, have perfected my craft here. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.